change is always painful, like no pain, no gain, right? And when you try to change something, it doesn't matter how, business oriented you are or like how goal focused you are, you will get emotions, right? People will react with emotions.
It's like good enough, so you gotta be great, and I'ma do whatever it takes. Doing what I love in life, and I'll pay the price, and not stopping even if the shit kills me, even if it kills me.
Hi everyone and welcome to MattGron Talks. This is episode 96. My name is Mattias Gronborg, aka MattGron, and I'm the founder of the HubSpot agency iGoMoon. And here I share my scaling up journey together with this company when I'm taking iGoMoon from nothing to something. And with me, of course, the one and only Svea-Malina Landshoff, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm great as always. Welcome to our vlog. This is where entrepreneurship runs smack into reality. And welcome from my studio here in Akersberga. We're doing this remote thing. This has kind of like carried over from Corona, and now we're just doing it. I think it's super good actually, because we're very flexible. And I can go wherever, in 2 weeks I want to go to Germany again, and I can just take my work with me. That's a great thing about this. But without further ado, let's jump in our framework here, and we have different topics for different days. We want to share that with our newcomers.
Yes, today we have the Friday episode, and but we also have the Monday and Wednesday episode, right? So every Monday we talk about self-development, and I'm sharing my journey growing as a leader and a human being. And every Wednesday I share stuff that I'm learning in the entrepreneurial process, scaling up iGoMoon. And every Friday we talk about what, Svea?
Your weekly self-inventory and your diary, as I like to call it. So you share with us what you've been up to as an entrepreneur, growing your company in that week, and you also share with us what you could have done better, what you learned in the process. So I would say let's start talking about this week. What have you been up to?
Yes, so this week has been very fun because I've been working a lot with the HR hat on. And I have had interviews with candidates, and we actually signed a new HubSpot developer this week. Really fun, really fun, yes. And she will be starting in 2 weeks, basically. And I have another interview next week, and we actually might sign another HubSpot developer, and then we will have 2 people joining us in beginning of October. So great. Super pumped. Yes.
Let us know next week how it goes.
Yeah. And I think I shared about that before, how I became a bottleneck in my account manager role. As a CEO in a small growing company, you have a lot of different roles. But like 2 years ago, I was the only account manager at iGoMoon. So in that way, I have a heritage of like a lot of customers that is connected to me, on a relationship side. So I'm now need to transfer over that relationship to Henrik and Dennis. So these customers actually get the attention they need.
Yeah.
So
working on the process there to transfer it over.
Not so much a process. It's more like a document and do like a handover.
Okay.
And onboard Dennis and Henrik on what we have done, and So and that's what I'm doing, and then something that also was very fun, together with Anton, I have building the org chart to actually map out our 2023 goal to become a 30-40 people company. And when I say 2023 goal, I mean the entire fiscal year. So basically it's how the company will look in the beginning of 2024.
Okay.
But it was really fun, getting creating that org chart with all the roles and the teams and get a clear picture of what roles we need to recruit, and also when, and then we attached the numbers, a budget and stuff to that. So
that sounds exciting. I mean, I can imagine it's kind of tricky to think about what things will look like in 2 years from now, but also I think very fun and creative, right? To wrap your head around what could be and visualize, where you want to go, right?
Yes, that's true. So I think that was
the week.
A high-flying perspective of the week. Let's jump into the self-inventory, and this is when I share more about what I could have done different, what I learned, and also something fun, right?
Yes, please.
Something to celebrate. So let's start with what I'm not proud of, what I could have done different. And I think I will continue to talk about communication here because it's super important, and I will also talk about emotions. And you, Svea, you attended our kickoff we had in the end of August, and you remember that we spoke about emotions.
Yeah, we had the workshop there with
storytelling.
Yeah.
Yes, and storytelling, and what kind of emotions we connect with the iGoMoon's purpose, and both like the dark side of the moon and then also the bright side of the moon. And I would like to communicate. I would like to talk more about that communication part around emotions, because I think it's super important when you are transforming a company, and because change is always painful, like no pain no gain, right? So, and when you try to change something, it doesn't matter how business oriented you are, or like how goal focused you are, you will get emotions, right? People will react with emotions to change, and I think on that transforming journey, of course, you will end up asking like, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah. So by that I mean you will actually start feeling your emotions, and you will kind of somewhere land in a reaction towards the change that is actually taking place, and what it means for you individually. And as a leader, you need actually to be leading for change, and that a huge part of that is actually leading through people's emotion, and everything that comes with that. So now when we are setting like iGoMoon, when we make iGoMoon ready for the next phase here, becoming a 30-40 people company, we are going through a lot of different things that creates emotions.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I think it's super important as a leader to actually actually understand that all the reactions and all the emotions people have towards change is actually an asset, because it's very easy to be afraid as a leader. When you see that people go through their emotions when they are living with their emotions, it's easy sometimes to shut down and let's say that you maybe start adapting to the group. Does it make sense? Instead of actually leading and coaching on what kind of attitudes and behaviors you actually want, and actually telling where we are going. So that's like the bigger perspective of that. And like like I just want to share one transformation thing we are doing right now, and it's like a good example, like the new iGoMoon and where we really want to take this rocket venture, rocket ship. And then it's at the same time we are also dealing with our old way to do it, basically. And we have been talking about the stand-ups here at iGoMoon, like how we do stand-ups. And stand-ups is the meeting we do every morning. The sales team, we have our own stand-up, and the production team, they have their own stand-up in their teams, so to speak. And so in these stand-ups, when Corona came, we did the stand-ups like 95% of the time when with everyone in the same room, and we were using whiteboard and a Trello board, and it was like a combination. But then Corona hit, and the whiteboard kind of we couldn't use it. Yes. And what happened then was actually we started to use tools that we should not have in the stand-ups. We started to use like a reporting tool, a spreadsheet with all the numbers and hours we needed to actually achieve the budget. So just to keep track of everything during a very how should I say, like uncertain time from a financial perspective. And we started to use that as a tool in every meeting, like in the stand-ups. And what happened then was that the stand-ups went from being like a creative fun meeting where we everyone felt ownership, self-leadership, and like creative. And then we, with that spreadsheet and lack of leadership, we made this meeting more a reporting meeting and a controlling meeting. And
because the focus was so much also on the numbers and the hours, right?
Exactly. Instead of actually what value we could create today. And in that way also the knowledge sharing disappeared, because it's all about teamwork. It's not about reporting, right? Because if you have a couple of priorities you are doing today, you might like when if let's say you are doing your work, you maybe have something like a new priority you could give to me, and the thing is that we want to collaborate and share what we are doing at customers, so we could become and grow better as a team. So the thing is, there is tools in the meeting we are now changing, but we have also been talking about the leadership and the self-leadership, because I mean, like if you are participating in a team, you always are responsible, even if you necessarily doesn't you necessarily doesn't have a team leader role or a manager role or something, but everyone is responsible for their own priorities, which basically means self-leadership. So we are doing some changes here now, and we have had a lot of like internal discussions, and I'm also using this as an example because people in a team, you must, as a leader, be able to like listen in on what they are sharing, and if people maybe are stressed, they could be angry, they can have like a lot of different feelings. It's like the moment, I think emotions and feelings is really, feelings are super interesting because as a leader, when people have feelings of joy, when they feel powerful or, like, let's say, peaceful, I mean, it's super easy to be a leader, right? But the moment people get sad, or let's say they are scared or even mad, then it's not so fun to be a leader. And very often as a leader, you end up kind of experiencing that you are the reason why they are having all these feelings.
Yeah,
right?
I can imagine that it must be hard sometimes to separate yourself personally from feelings like that it's not you, but it's something else that contributes to that feeling. I can imagine.
So the thing is, what I'm telling you here is that's why I'm sharing this the stand-up example, because in that meeting we have components that actually make people stressed. They feel anxiety. It's not fun. But you must really be, as a leader, you must understand, like, okay, this is stuff we need to change because it's actually not good for us as a team. But I mean, you must also be able to realize that, like, sometimes when you go through change, people could also have their emotions, and then it's very important to stand there and actually coach and show people where we are going and what kind of behaviors and attitudes we really want. So let's say you and I, we are in a stand-up. You are my leader, and you might feel that I don't have the right attitude, right? Maybe I'm and my attitude is actually influencing the entire team, but you can feel that I'm sad, mad, or scared. So and you might end up thinking that's because of you, right? And then you might not coach me on what kind of behaviors and attitudes you would like to see from me participating in a meeting. And I think this is super important, that you as a leader, you actually, like, when you know where we are going, you need to actually coach the team to set the right expectations, how to participate, even if even if we are going through change, because change will always create create different emotions, and very often joy and peacefulness and the powerful emotions is not what you feel when you're going through changes. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is I think it's super important to ask yourself the right questions to drive self-awareness. You as a leader, you need to understand, like, in your position, what do I observe, and also those people I lead, what do I observe there, what do I think as a leader, and what does my team think. And what do I feel, and what does the people I lead feel? What do I need to actually go through this change, and what does the team need to go through this change? So, and we like to actually get everyone on the same page here. I think it's super important as a leader to help people asking these questions themselves.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
That's because, I think, a very important point.
Yeah, because the moment people understand also, because this is the tricky part, because I told you that you as a leader can't shut down because you end up thinking that my, mad, sad, scared emotions is because of you. The moment you actually help them to realize, oh, the feelings you have is not necessarily bad. It's an asset. We can use it as an asset because it's really natural to feel what you feel because we are going through changes.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Let's use it to something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really sounds like you have to be a psychologist if you want to be a good leader, or at least really have an understanding for humans and emotions.
I think you need to have a really good understanding of. You need to be curious. I think that's the most important thing.
And you need to care, right? You need to care for
exactly.
people. Yeah,
exactly. But you must. I mean, it's. I don't know. I think it's super tough to. You can't, like, in theory, learn how to become a really good leader. You must actually, of course, it's good to read and get input, from other sources, but the combination, you need to study, you need to do, and like also what I'm doing now, we could call it teaching, because like teaching is the wrong word. Sharing is the better word I'm looking for. Like study, do, share. When you can do that at the same time, I think you are really growing as a leader, and then your team can grow. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of tricky, hard sentences and words here, but
but an interesting
and a complex topic.
Complex, but definitely interesting and important, I think. But should we move on with your self-inventory, because I think we slowly have to wrap this episode.
That was my self-inventory.
You're done? Okay, then let's call it a wrap.
that was I can wrap it up. When I was sharing about emotions and changes and the transformation, something that I could have done better, like way back, is communicating and actually see people's emotions much more like assets instead of
problems.
See it as assets instead of liabilities, in the way that necessarily interpret that they have these emotions and that's because I'm a bad leader. So I need to that's something I could have learned and done different, and that's something I could have done different. On the learning side, I think it's the org chart I was talking about. I really love the moment, like start visualizing the organization 2023, and then this week we have celebrated a new colleague signing with iGoMoon, and we hope for another one next week. So
you answered all this. I just realized you're so good at like woven in everything, all the self-inventory into what you say. I don't even need to ask the questions anymore. You're doing my job, Mattias. Okay. All right, then, thank you for this episode, and thank you guys for watching. We hope you liked this, and as always, if you have anything to say, if you have any questions, feel free to use the comment function down below, and also consider to subscribe if you like what we're doing. And as we said, we have 3 different episodes coming out every week, and we have a lot already out there, so maybe browse through some old videos, maybe there's something you find interesting. And otherwise, I hope to see you in the next one, and see you, Mattias. Bye.
Thank you, Svea, and thanks everyone for watching the episode. See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.